Hi. If you're trying to build content that can show a specific outcome based on user responses, but you also don't want to use any mathematical formulas, then outcome quizzes will be the perfect content type for you. Let's try and create an outcome quiz with Outgrow. So on the dashboard, you can choose outcome quiz as the content type, which will then take you to the layout selection page. This is only going to define the basic look and feel of your quiz. Like you can have one column or two column or maybe a card style, but then you can further customize this to match your own branding guidelines. We have a separate video on customizing your Outgrow content. For now, I'm just going to go with this first one. After you've selected the layout, it then takes you to the actual Outgrow builder where you can add all your questions and customize the outcomes. So on the builder page, you'll see that we have all these different sections here on the left-hand side, like the welcome screen, the questions, a lead generation form, and finally the outcome screen. To make any changes, you just have to highlight the section that you want to edit. So let's say I want to make changes to the welcome screen. I can just click on the welcome screen here and I can type in all my content here. You'll see all these changes here in real time. You can have your own subheading. The button text can be changed. You can also add some media on the welcome screen. So let's say if you want to add some image or a short introductory video, you can easily do that. So once you've designed the welcome screen, this is where you can ask all your questions. Now, depending on the kind of information you want from these clients, you can choose from these available question types. So we have a lot of question types to choose from. So depending on the information you want, you can choose the right one. For now, I'm just going to go with the single select question type, and it works the same way. I can type in my questions here, and this is where I can add all my options to make this more interactive. I have the option to add an image for the question. And if I want the users to watch a short video before they answer any question, that can be done too. Similarly, these three options, they have image for now, but these can be plain text, or I can also use some icons. So once you've added all your questions, this is where we have a lead generation form. This is where you can collect your users' information, like their name, their email address. You can also easily add any custom field on the lead generation form. Let's say you want to ask for their phone number. You can simply just add a field for that. And once they fill out the lead generation form, they will then be taken to the outcome screen. The position of the lead generation form can also be easily changed. So if you want to ask for this information right on the welcome screen, you can do that. That can also be added between the questions, and you can show this on the outcome screen as well. Now on the outcome screen is where you can add all your outcomes. So let's say there are 3 possible outcomes that could show up depending on the user responses. So it create all these possible outcomes, and every outcome can have its own heading, its own description, its own media, like an image or a video, and its own CTA button. So the users can be redirected from outcome screen based on the CTA that we've created. So every outcome will have its own unique text and its own unique CTA buttons. Now what happens is, once you've added all the outcomes, I will go back to the questions and you'll notice that we have the option to map these outcomes to these options. Now, what happens is every time a user selects an option, the outcome, which is mapped to it, let's say it gets 1 point in the end, the system will see which outcome got the maximum number of points, and it'll show that outcome as the final outcome. So this is really how you can build an outcome quiz with Outgrow. It's based on simple mapping. You create all the possible outcomes, and then you map them to the responses for the questions. And then based on the user responses, the system will pick the most chosen outcome, and it'll show that outcome as the final outcome. And you do have the option to display multiple outcomes if you want. It can be controlled under the outcome page. So this is how you build an outcome quiz with Outgrow. Sign up for a 7-day free trial today.